this the class's first live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
A little bit intimidating, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's good.
I figure things will probably go fine.
Okay, so that should be showing up. Cool. Awesome. Does anyone have the link up? Yep. Awesome. Cool. Graphic showing? Awesome. Good stuff. Do you have headphones? Can you? Okay. Would you? Okay, and you have the stream up? Okay, cool. No audio coming through right now, right? Perfect.
So I'm looking at Alex for my cue to read the monologue.
Yeah, because you won't be able to see, but we're gonna go bumper, your monologue, then we go Dawson intro video, and then you guys are live. There is audio.
It's delayed though.
Okay.
Yeah, the cameras were delayed when we were testing them, but not too badly.
Okay.
Could you see properly, or is it because
It's fine. I can still see fine.
There's a link in the last room.
Stay tuned on Tab TV.
be covering all things Blakelock. On today's episode, we'll be sitting down with super special guest, Mr. Paul Dawson, and talking about the current events in Blakelock. Welcome, Mr. Dawson. How are you today?
I'm well, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
You've been...
In Mr. Dawson's short time as principal at TA Blakelock, he's already made a huge impact. Joining us from his last post at Aldershot High School, where he's a VP, this is Mr. Dawson's first posting as a principal. Mr. Dawson joins us at a pivotal time in the history of the school, with big changes set to happen over the next few years, including the introduction of the iSTEM program and some major renovations. We're happy to have Mr. Dawson as the first guest on Tab TV.
Hello and welcome to Tab TV. We're very excited to have you for our first ever broadcast to cover all things Blakelock. On today's episode, we'll be sitting down with super special guest Mr. Paul Dawson to talk about the current happenings at Blakelock. Mr. Dawson, pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
So you've been working as a teacher and a VP for years now, but becoming a principal, you ever see yourself becoming TikTok famous?
What's TikTok? I'm kidding. So I have learned about a certain TikTok page or site. I don't actually have any social media myself. So I've learned about it through other folks. I never thought I'd have a TikTok page or that there would be a TikTok page out there about me. From what I can gather, it's pretty positive in nature and well intentioned, I think. And I know it's brought a smile to other people's faces, and people are having a good laugh at it as well from time to time. So I never thought I'd have a TikTok page, or that someone would take the time to make one on my behalf. But I know some folks have some favorite videos out there. So that was different for me for sure.
Well, it's good to see that you're having like a fairly positive following in the school, and it seems like people are really enjoying the TikTok page. So, you've been teaching in administrative for your entire career. How long has Bronte and Blakelock been home to you?
So this is my first year at Blakelock. I've spent my entire teaching and administrative career here in Halton, so I feel very fortunate for that. I've lived in this area, in the Halton area, for about 20 years. But I'm not a Halton grad, so I'm a bit of a transplant into the Halton region. I grew up in Eastern Ontario on the Quebec border, so a few hours away. But school and family brought me here, and so this is my first semester at Blakelock, and I'm really enjoying it.
That's good to hear. What have been some highlights of your educational career?
Certainly coming to Tab this year at a time where there's great change and things happening. We were talking before the show with some of the students about some renovations happening. We've got some new programming coming. So coming to Blakelock this year in particular has been a real highlight for me. But throughout the years, it's been really neat to watch students cross the stage at commencement. That's always a highlight. It's really a lot of fun to hear back from students when they've graduated and they come back for a visit and they share what they're doing, in the community or whatever their post-secondary plans have been. So that's a real highlight kind of on a regular basis when students come back. And I've been really fortunate to be in some schools that have launched new programming like iSTEM. So I was at another school that launched that, and I'm really excited about launching the Blakelock version here. So that'll be a real highlight. And having a chance to open a new school. I got a chance to do that about 10 years ago, and that was a really unique opportunity. That was a real highlight for me. But coming to Blakelock, being part of the community, is certainly a real highlight of my career so far.
That's great to hear. You've been a teacher and an administrator, a VP before. Mm-hmm. How are you finding being a principal? Is it much of a change?
Yeah, I genuinely learn something new every day. So I'm really open to the learning, and I'm enjoying that. It is a change from being a vice principal. But I've felt super welcomed here at the Blakelock community. I mean, most folks see me out front each day, and students here are super polite, staff are super polite, always very welcoming, saying hello in the morning. So really enjoying being a principal here at Blakelock and feeling really welcomed by the community.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. Some students may have noted a lack of turnout for both events and teams recently. I was wondering if you could say anything about community involvement and what you think about it?
Yeah, I think getting involved extracurricularly is super important. We know school is very much about coming to class and earning credits, and that's a super important part, obviously, of what we're doing here at the school for staff and students. But getting involved is really important. I know we're transitioning from a real unique couple of years where there were limited opportunities to get involved, so we hope students will find their way back to those things. Sports are up and running again. having the opportunity to do something like this, maybe we weren't able to do the last couple of years, and different leadership groups and clubs and teams are up and running. So it might take folks a little bit of time to find their way back to it. We hope they do. We know that as student athletes, as student leaders, different groups in that, they're representing the school with great pride, and we really appreciate that. And we also know that for folks coming to watch events or being in the stands, that's also a way to really participate in a positive way. And we hope that if fans are at an event or students are participating in assemblies, that they're respectful, that they are fully engaged in what's happening and being really supportive of the events. And we know that goes a long way to help people feel more comfortable coming back. And if there's something that's not being offered right now, or a club or a team or a student has an idea about something new or different, there's always opportunities to discuss those and find ways to connect with staff. Maybe there's someone out there who shares a common interest with them, and that might be a way to get another club or opportunity going for students. So I know we've had a real unique couple of years where things were really kind of shut down and we weren't able to get together in large groups and do things like that. We are, it feels like we're into a bit more of a normal year. And so I hope people continue to find their way to those events. And we know there's some other social events coming up too, after school hours and that we hope people will have a great turnout for as well.
I'm sure the students are looking forward to it. There's been a lot of talk about honor roll lately. I was wondering if you could comment or tell us a little bit about any changes potentially happening.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I had some really great conversations just recently, actually, yesterday with a student who's gathered a lot of student voice about honor roll and how students feel about that. And this year we've been having conversations about how do we recognize students in our school, whether that be academically, whether it be their community involvement, and thinking whole school about how we do student recognition. I know the honor roll is very much an academic-based thing, and that's really important, so we're having conversations about that. But also we know sometimes for a variety of reasons that not all students will find themselves meeting the criteria of what an honor roll might hold. So how do we also recognize those students? What types of student recognition or awards could happen there? So we're having those conversations. I'm having another conversation this afternoon with some students as well, gaining that student feedback, and working with staff, and I've received some really great parent and guardian feedback as well. So we're going to take all that information, come up with our plan to work towards our student recognition, and honor roll is certainly a big part of that conversation right now, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's great to hear that student voice is being considered, and all of that in the idea.
Yeah,
department.
it's really important. I'm really enjoying the conversations with folks and getting the feedback, and we're going to do our best to come up with a good plan.
On that note, are there any future events you're looking forward to at Blakelock?
Yeah, so I mentioned commencement earlier. I'm really excited about. I don't want to rush the school year. We still got semester 2 to go through for sure, but I'm excited about seeing the class of 2023 crossing the stage. So that'll be a real exciting thing. As folks may have heard, there is a senior prom being organized for later in May. So that should be exciting.
I'm sure students are super excited.
Yeah,
about that.
absolutely. And if you heard the announcements this morning, there is a semi-formal that's being planned as well. So that's coming up as well. Another opportunity to kind of provide a social opportunity for students. We've got lots of events happening with athletics and different student leadership things happening. I know our drama students are working on a production right now as well. And then school council is also putting together kind of a showcase evening where we hope to bring the community in and maybe raise some funds for the school. So lots of really neat things happening in semester 2 that we're looking forward to.
Well, especially after COVID, like these sort of events, I'm sure the students are definitely looking forward to. I know I am. But yeah, it's an exciting time in Blakelock.
Yeah, we're really excited to get the community back in, get folks involved, get them engaged, and find ways to just reconnect a little bit for sure.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Anyways, I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching Tab TV. Thank you to our super special guest, Mr. Dawson. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Stay tuned on Tab TV.
How'd it go? How'd it go for you? Was it good?
It was pretty good.
That was great. Yeah, thanks, folks.
There was a point in time my brain stalled a little
That's
bit, but
okay.